Hail and welcome back to the HFC Sonic-a-thon 3 and Knuckles. I just wrapped up my run of Sonic the Hedgehog, and up next is another fantastic classic Sonic game. This is Sonic the Hedgehog CD, originally released for the Mega CD, now ported onto Origins. And our runner for this one is the one and only Mr. Samurai Snake. Let's go, mate.
Alright.
So, while we're doing this marathon, we are raising money for the charity Child's Play. What Child's Play do is they provide toys and games to children who are in the hospital long term, and you can donate using the link that should be under the Twitch window or in the YouTube stream. It will be in the video description. So you can click through to the Tiltify window there and make your donation. We have a beautifully upscaled OP, so I'm going to let this play out. So, Snake, Toot Toot Sonic Warrior or Sonic Boom? What's your favourite?
I think the answer is pretty obvious. Sonic Warrior, you can do anything.
Yeah, I think that is my favourite, and I also like the ending song that we'll see at the end of the run from the Japanese and European soundtrack. But Sonic Boom is pretty good in itself. I feel like the slower version that they play at the end of the US version's probably better than the opening version with Sonic Boom, but you know, like whichever version of Sonic CD you're playing, you're getting a good soundtrack from it. So, you know.
Yeah, it pretty much just boils down to a Dragon Ball debate, if you will, with its history of is the American soundtrack better or the original Japanese? And well, there's no wrong answer either way, but I like the Japanese soundtrack for both.
That's fair. So, Sonic CD then, out of all the classic Sonic games, where do you feel it stands? Like, do you prefer it to the others? Do you prefer the others to it? Where do you stand on it, mate?
I prefer it to the others. I prefer it over Sonic 2 and Sonic 1. It's right up there with Sonic CD, with Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
For me, I would say that CD's probably my favourite, with Sonic 1 very shortly behind it. Like, they're very close. Then I'd say 2, then 3 and Knuckles. If you're including Mania, which I suppose it does count as a classic Sonic game, I would probably put that very near the top as well. And when I say that, I should clarify that I do still think Sonic 3 and Knuckles is a great game. But it's just, there's some damn good classic Sonic games.
Yeah, all the classic games are very solid.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that she did that peace sign at the beginning of the special stage. That's very cute.
Yeah, like they had to make some new, like a whole new fleet of sprites for Amy when they did the Plus, like add-on DLC to Sonic Origins, and like they managed to blend in pretty well. Like nothing about Amy Rose here looks out of place in the special stage.
Yeah.
Palm Tree Panic, I would say, leaves far more of an impression on me than Green Hill these days. How about you?
It definitely does. Like, Green Hill Zone was, like, the starting point for everything, as far as the starting level is concerned, but I like how they basically took Green Hill Zone and then just beefed up the surrealness of the art style.
You know, there's one very subtle difference between Green Hill and Palm Tree Panic in its standard like present mode that I think sets it apart. And that's the tiling, the sprite tiling on the environments. You might not have clocked onto it, but I really do think it makes a difference. And that's that instead of squares for a checkerboard, we've got triangles here. And the vibe that gives, it makes it feel so much more otherworldly than Green Hill, which, like, yeah, obviously having checkerboard hills, that's still very fantastical in itself. But this has got a bit more of an edge to it.
It definitely does.
Silver Dude says that CD is best played with Knuckles. The game has more, like, it has more exploration, if I can talk. And I'd never thought of that. I've never played CD as Knuckles, but I could see how that would work. Like, that's the sort of thing that I would expect if you were to specifically go to the good ending using the, like, projectors. Like, yeah, if you're Knuckles and you can climb around... Why did they put that rock there? Like, I could imagine that would be more of a thing.
Yeah, its level design is much more vertical, and there's not anything wrong with that, compared to 3K's more horizontal exploration level design.
Yeah, don't worry, Spar, I just unlisted the VOD from the previous one. Just trying to juggle like 30 different admin things here at a time.
Oh, I missed that one. That would have been very sweet and seamless.
Yeah, the thing with the CD special stages is that, like, if you accidentally missed one, don't bother trying to fix it, you know, just do another loop round. Most of the time that'll be easier.
Pretty much. I am going to get the good ending, because that's at least how I play CD. I don't really go for the bad ending on this.
No, like, usually I'd go the good ending using the rings as well, because, like, I saw, like, the way the level design here works, it kind of does encourage you to explore a bit more than Sonic 1 does, but at the same time, you know, I do kind of want to keep a bit of a pace up. And like Silver Dude mentioned, it's probably easier to explore with Knuckles than with Sonic, or in this case, like, Amy Rose is mostly a Sonic clone here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Neutral in the YouTube chat says that CD is the most similar to a Metroidvania before the 2D Sonic Boom games. I wouldn't say it's a Metroidvania. I would say that from what I've seen of Tales of Adventure, that's a bit closer to a Metroidvania than CD is.
Yeah, that makes the most sense.
I haven't played that. I will eventually.
I've played it, I've owned Tales of Adventure, but I've never beaten it.
Yeah, it's on my we'll get to it eventually kind of thing. Like, there will eventually be a HFC LP of it, I'm sure, and when we do that, we'll probably just bundle it up with Sky Patrol, because Sky Patrol is like 10 minutes long.
Yeah. I think that actually I played that also, but I haven't beaten that either. And I think it was originally going to be a Mickey game or something, wasn't it?
I have heard that. There's one of... Like, I don't know whether it's a placeholder or whether it was intended, but there's some screenshots flying around of that game where they had Pete, the Disney character Pete, as like a stand-in for one of the bosses. So it might have been, or it might have been like the Crash Bandicoot thing where they used like a crude model of Sonic and nicknamed it Sonic SARS game before coming up with like the final character design. Which that kind of amuses me.
And now that I'm actually reminded, some years ago, we actually got insight as to what the removed Art Round 2 level was going to be called, Dubious Depths.
Huh. Was that... What one was that? Was that one of the unused levels from this?
Yes. Yeah.
Huh.
It was basically going to be a more surreal zone, but I don't know why it got cut.
I don't know, because there was more cut stuff as well, weren't there? Like, and I know with the 2012 or 2011 port that Taxman did, they were planning to add the desert level into that, Desert Dazzle. As well. So, like, CD, all the different versions, I kind of wish that Sega gave the, like, Taxman and Stealth a bit more creative freedom, because they're the kind of guys who know what they're doing. Yeah, we're going after the time stones for this run. That's why we're doing the special stages.
Yeah, I think that one was... That machine was over here somewhere.
Oh, you going for the machines as well?
Yeah, just as, like, insurance.
Yeah, I don't blame you, like.
Yeah, there it is.
Nice. Yeah, see, when I play CD, I'm usually the type to just rush to the end and just get the ring. So, you know, this is a slightly different kind of run for the channel.
Yeah, you have to get the robot machine instead, but not the metal Sonic projector. Now that I'm thinking that, why the fuck did Eggman think that a metal Sonic projector would be necessary for him taking over the planet?
I guess it could be like an intimidation tactic. Just like, I know it's like the absurdly cartoony evil kind of thing of like literally a projection of Metal Sonic kicking a little animal, but still.
That makes sense, I guess.
But I love the like surrealist vibe of CD so much.
It hits that vibe as to what I at least think some Sonic art should look like, as far as the terms of the world. But that's just me. There's many perspectives on what it should.
What I get from it, a lot of the time, when people think of like vaporwave aesthetics in current year, it's kind of like an exaggerated take on like 90s media aesthetics. But this game is that exaggerated. It's like taking the, like, you know the Jazz Cup design?
Yeah.
It's basically the same vibe I get from that. It's like this otherworldly, like, alternate take on the 90s.
Mm-hmm. Special stage got smoked.
Nice one. We're getting through these time stones quickly.
It is my favorite Sonic game after all, so I've probably played this one the most.
Well, I mean, like, I say that I really like Sonic 1, and we saw me do, like, a kind of not good run of Sonic 1. Whether that's the run you see on the channel eventually, or whether I redo it, I haven't decided yet, but we'll see. If you saw a good VOD on YouTube, then that means I redid it. If you saw me fumbling around, then that means I didn't redo it. Hey there, Jonesy, welcome to the stream. See, that guy is like the slightly distinct take on these slices from Sonic 2. They're not quite as aggressive as the slices are, but they can still get you at really awkward positions.
There we go.
There we go, yeah.
Yep, I knew that this section was right here.
This is the section that is very obviously put there for you to build up speed.
Yeah, I think they kind of built that into the level design for CD, just so you'd have some easy speed trap sections just to be able to time travel.
The fact that they changed it so it's open when you get into the present, the future here. Well, this is the past, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the
I'm
past.
not all the time. Yeah, when you get into the past, like the fact that they opened it up, that kind of tells me that it was very intentional. It was done for a reason.
Yeah, with all the cut content from Sonic CD, there's actually some fans, believe it or not. I don't think anyone would really be surprised because the Sonic hacking and fan game community are very talented, dedicated people. Someone's making a remake of Sonic CD that has all the cut content.
Oh, that could be cool, yeah.
Yeah.
But I know years and years ago there was this one fan hack of Sonic 2 that was attempting to do that, like Sonic the Lost Worlds. And I remember that being very cool in concept. I also remember the level design being a little bit funky, and I'm not sure how much of that was them like trying to be accurate to what they witnessed from like the screenshots and all the evidence of those levels, and how much of it was just they didn't get around to refining it. You might have to spin. Oh no, it reappears. That's cool. I was going to say you might have to spin dash.
Yeah, I was just checking to see. Are there any more rings left? Yes, there are.
It does get a little bit tight sometimes, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. That's the secret exit for this level.
Oh, Spar, you got a watch streak for HFC. I forgot that Twitch brought that in now.
Oh, the level art for this was taken from an ad that Sega did, I believe.
Yeah, this is a very interesting backdrop that they've got going on here. It's one that does actually show something that looks like an actual natural location just with Eggman's building on it, as opposed to the later ones, which you'll see. I think they were just making shit up at that point.
Let's see. What's the other one? Right over there. Ah, okay.
Any tips for Partners in Time? Like, you mean the Mario game? I haven't played that one. I've played Superstar Saga, though.
Yeah, that's the only one that I've played, Superstar Saga. I haven't played any of the other ones. I'm pretty sure they're decent.
Yeah, like I like what I have played of the Mario RPGs. I've also played Super Mario RPG for the Super Nintendo as well. I just haven't got around to playing the late ones. That was always a bit of a blind spot for me growing up from the Mario series. And so, like, it was a couple of years ago where I thought, fuck it, why not? Let's give Superstar Saga a try. And I played the GBA version, and it's pretty fun, actually.
It is.
I have a copy of the 3DS remake somewhere, which I will play eventually. I heard people say it's not as good, but I did also see that they rebalanced a bunch of stuff, so I'm curious to see how that plays out. Oh, this is beautiful.
Oh,
this version of the level.
Oh yeah, the Good Future version just has very serene, chill vibes that I love.
This is Jazz Cup core, isn't it? The turquoise in particular.
It said Jazz Cut Core?
Jazz Cup, you know, like the art design.
Oh, okay. That's a term I hadn't heard before.
It's not normal for people to use it as a descriptive like that. It's just kind of what it makes me think of. What is it you weren't keen on with Superstar Saga, Spar? That's a lot of S words.
I don't mind this pinball boss. It's very cool.
This boss either goes really easily or it's really fucking fiddly. You never get like just a normal run of it down, do you? Like you got bounced all over the place there just because of how the springs work.
Pretty much.
Tidal Tempest, my beloved.
Oh, this is also pretty serene as well. I like it.
I love the music to this. This doesn't sound like it should be Sonic music, but it's just so fucking chill, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It's perfect sounding for a water level.
Yeah, it's just like, if you think of other wall levels, like we had Labyrinth Zone in the last game that was like quite a bit more intense and had, like, Labyrinth Zone is probably the most that Sonic 1 leans into the Mega Drive twang.
Mm-hmm.
And then you come to this game and the water level is just like pure vibes. Oh, you like Dream Team from Mario and Luigi? That's fair one, Spar. Again, like I say, I've only played Superstar Saga out of the Mario and Luigi games. I think the one problem I did have with that game is that sometimes the control on the overworld of like constantly switching between the characters can get a bit much during some of the puzzles. But I also get what they were going for.
You know, let's take a 2. Whee!
Look at that go!
No matter.
And remember, guys, we are raising money for the Child's Play charity. We have a donation bid war ongoing for the playable character for the Sonic 2 playthrough. If I just get the donations up, I can tell you where we're at in that right now. Polls. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 character choice. Right now, Amy is also winning the Sonic 2 character choice at $15. But if anyone wants to get donations in for Sonic, Tails or Knuckles, if you push it over 15, you could snipe it.
Or you could just give more to Amy.
I feel like someone has a bias here.
I did it for the joke.
It's kind of cool that we have shown off Amy in at least the first 2 runs here, because Amy was the extra character that was added when they brought out the DLC for Origins, wasn't it? She wasn't here originally.
Yeah, she wasn't in the original release of Origins. Oh shit, I'm gonna drown.
It's fine. Oh no, you saved it. I was going to say, like, I got a drowning death in Sonic 1, so just make it equal. See, in this game, having those springs makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
In Marble Zone, not so much.
No.
God, this is super comfy as well, isn't it? Without that fancy cave background. The background art in this game across the board is really pretty.
Yeah. They really pushed the Mega CD to its absolute limit with the art style, the graphics, and, of course, the Red Book audio.
Yeah, like, admittedly, the Red Book audio did mean that when it came to changing the soundtrack, some of the songs were kind of hard-coded in. So that's why some of them didn't get changed in the US version.
Yeah. There are some good pieces of the American soundtrack that I like. I just don't think they exactly fit.
I think they're mostly fitting. It's just in pretty much every case. If you were to just play the 2 versions back to back, I would probably say the Japanese European one is the better song. It's kind of one of them situations where it's like it's a perfectly good soundtrack. It just suffers from the inevitable comparison.
Yeah, that's very much true. This is the special stage where they start to not hold back on the difficulty.
Yeah, they're going wild with it, and it's because there's more of these sections that you fall in and it just saps your rings, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And there's that giant fucking, like, Akira background there. But what a vibe that film is, though.
Yeah, this definitely looks very much like Neo Tokyo Akira.
Yeah, and it's funny because, like, when you get to Sonic Adventure 2, that's when they start having environments that look like the inside of the base areas as well. Because, like, Iron Gate is basically just, like, the facility, isn't it?
Okay, what path are you taking? That.
Yeah, Apones says to think they changed the OST because they thought the West wouldn't jive with it, if only they had the foresight to see the lo-fi trend. To be fair, that wasn't as much of a thing in the 90s, at least not in the US.
it still mystifies me to this day because Americans loved techno house music. But some of that, I think, probably may also go into some of the rights issues, because this game uses a lot of music samples from a specific sample library called 0G data file, and all the samples from that sample library are all over the soundtrack.
Well, the thing with sample libraries in particular is that usually when you buy discs like these were distributed on, the purpose of those is that they sell them royalty-free.
Ah.
Now, that might not necessarily be true for this particular one, but in general, that like sampling rights issues can be difficult, and like a lot of hip-hop artists in particular, they tend to struggle when they get big and then they realise, like, hang on, I didn't license any of this, so now I owe this performer, like, God knows how many millions. But, like, when it's, like, royalty-free samples, usually it's just, like, you buy the CD and you're done.
I didn't know that.
I do know that thing about hip-hop sampling, that's the thing, that's not just, like, small indie artists struggle with that. Sometimes you have giant record labels, when they sign on like a new performer who has like a big back catalogue of music already, there have been companies that have been screwed over because they just assumed that all the rights have been cleared and they hadn't. And the thing is, because of how the legality of that works, when it comes to like covering a song outright, where like the composer has written a song and you just record your own version of it, it's very easy to deal with. You just have to pay the standard cover song fee and you're pretty much set. Whereas with sampling, because it uses the actual recording rather than just the composition, now you also owe the performer, and the performer, there's no standardization for that. So if the performer of the original says you can use it but you owe us 100% of your take, like, you kind of have to just give them everything. Mm-hmm. And that's happened to people before, and they've been severely screwed over by it.
That makes sense. I don't know what it's like with existing sample libraries, but that makes a lot of sense.
I'm inclined to believe that they're royalty-free as well, because they get used by so many different games, including like things like this. Sonic CD in particular, I'm not convinced, since this was like the side game that was being developed alongside 2, I'm not convinced this would have had a pretty big budget. So I don't know if they would have spent out a lot to clear samples.
Yeah, probably not a lot, but the biggest issue with its music was the composer, or You Can Do Anything, passed away before the Taxman version came out, so he owned the rights to that song, so it was stuck in copyright hell.
Yeah, that happens sometimes, and that's why nowadays common practice for when something's being written for like a game or a film or a TV show or whatever, standard practice now is to use work for hire agreements, which I know a lot of people in the industry aren't a fan of that, because like there's this worry that, you know, once you've handed over that agreement, it means you don't own it anymore, and so that means that the company can do whatever they like with it and you don't get paid anymore. But it's also like a logistical consideration, because like if everyone who's worked on different parts of the game all have part ownership of the final product, I think you might die here. It makes it kind of an absolute nightmare to chase up anyone in terms of like re-releases and whatnot.
On.
Jeppo says, pop quiz, what do you think the Metacritic of Sonic CD is?
Wow! Screw you too, game.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah. If I'm going to take a guess, I would imagine that it's probably lower than Sonic 1 I don't know what the Metacritic specifically is going to be, but I would assume that it's the kind of game that critics will give shit to.
70, maybe? I'm not exactly sure. Probably lower than the Genesis / Mega Drive games.
Yeah. Let's have a little look.
Or probably just non-existent because this game came out before Metacritic.
Yeah, but like a lot of people will have re-reviewed it, wouldn't they?
Most likely, yeah.
The top result is showing 82, and that is for the 360 PS3 version.
Oh, okay.
So that's better than I thought, because doesn't this seem like the kind of game that reviewers would give shit?
I mean, given what I've seen on internet forums, definitely.
Yeah.
I guess there's one good thing about dying in this level. You just get sent back to the beginning, and it's not exactly that much of a pain in the ass. Oh, seizure warning.
Yeah, this level is a bit much in the background. I always hear people worship this game. It's one of them games that for a lot of people, it's either their favourite or their least favourite. Like, I worship it because it's fucking great, but some people just aren't sophisticated enough, Tom. Sometimes you gotta say it how it is.
Part of it also comes with the fact that this game came out at a time when CD technology had just been born, meaning that games can actually use live instruments to make music, not just synthesis sound chips.
It was kind of a novelty, wasn't it? And the fact that it was on the Mega CD rather than being a Mega Drive game, I feel like that might have changed how people felt a bit. Because, like, you know, when there's a new extra add-on to play a certain game that you have to pay for, that kind of adds expectations a bit, doesn't it?
It definitely does.
And also just in terms of what contemporary games were doing at the time, because like a lot of games on the Mega CD were like using FMVs for different things, weren't they? And like a lot of those games didn't age particularly well. Like now that the novelty of the game console can play a video has gone away, that's not really, you know, it's like you just look back at it for what it is, and a lot of those games basically amounted to just change which video is playing.
Pretty much. Or just go to the next slide of a PowerPoint presentation.
Pretty much.
Plumbers don't wear ties.
Was that on the Mega CD as well? I just remember
No,
3DO.
no, it was just on 3DO.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, like, I think Night Trap was on the Mega CD though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the sort of thing that I'm thinking of, where it's just like, for the time, it was a novel concept, but nowadays, it's like, you're getting the clicking the recommended videos links on YouTube experience, but as a video game. And it's like, I'm not really in a rush to do that. Robert says, I enjoy it as in Sonic CD, but it never really gave me a Sonic feel. I get a very 90s Sonic feel, but then I suppose I also associate 90s Sonic with stuff like the OVA, and like there's a very similar kind of animation style. And that also lent into the, you know, vaporwave kind of psychedelic art style. At least a little bit, like when you get into like Robotnik Land.
Yeah.
Was that what it was called? It was like
It was called Robotropolis in the OVA, or if you just wanted to, Eggman Land.
Was it Eggman Land in the Japanese version?
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, I was kind of thinking that, but I was like, I've only ever watched the dub, and the dub, it's bad, but it's perfect. Like, it's not a bad dub, it's just the voice they gave to Sonic is not what I would have given to Sonic, you know?
Admittedly, that is one of the flaws, that Tails sounds like he has a cold. Sonic sounds bit of a lesser Steve Urkel, I guess. I don't know how you describe that.
It's like, if you're looking at Sonic in a vacuum, then I guess that voice coming out of Sonic's mouth isn't too alien. But it just doesn't sit there as Sonic to me. Yeah.
I'd say it's good, but it's not bad. It's not terrible.
A lot of my appreciation for the OVA comes down to just the iconic lines and, you know, just the vibe of it as a whole. Tails sounds like he's got a peg on his nose the whole run.
Okay, where is a speed trap that I can use?
I don't know if there is one in this level, is there?
I think I might just have to get a running start to 88 miles per hour.
Like, as long as you've got these things running the right way, you should be able to keep a constant streak going.
Let's see, I think I can just start from right here. There we go.
There we go. Nice one. And then we're in a completely different vibe entirely.
Pretty much.
It's basically Sting Chameleon's level as a vibe, isn't it?
A bit in the beginning, yeah. But it opens up here to outside the cave.
We just don't have that one mini-boss that has far too much health. It's green, but it's not a Green Hill clone. And it's not often you see that in Sonic. Is this Wood Zone? No, this is not quite Wood Zone.
This is Cave Zone, I guess. Green Cave Zone.
Green Cave Zone, just with a green lake in the background for some reason. I feel like what I kind of like about the art style of Sonic CD is the way they uses colours in ways that those colours wouldn't usually be used. It makes it feel very otherworldly. And it's a similar sort of thing that Rystar did quite a bit as well. Like, Rystar's ice level, using like greens and turquoises rather than like blues and whites. It's that sort of vibe entirely.
Yeah. Rystar gives a very surreal vibe with its color palette, which it looks absolutely stellar.
That's another gorgeous game, yeah.
Part of me just kind of wonders why it wasn't on the Sega Saturn when it came out.
Yeah, I suppose if it had been in development for a while and like the Mega Drive at that time already had a pretty big install base, it was just a little bit late, really, wasn't it? 'Cause, like, I think Rystar was 95, wasn't it?
Yeah.
See, by the time it was 1995, there was already a masterpiece on the Saturn called Bug, and nothing is better than Bug for the Sega Saturn. That's sarcasm, in case it's not obvious. Have you played that game?
I have. I owned it growing up. I thought it was fun when I played it as a kid, but I mean, But now that I'm thinking about it, it's basically Sega's own Bubsy, if you will, with his one-liners.
That's the kind of thing they were going for. They were trying to make it contemporary and hip and whatnot. But the thing that stands out to me is the gameplay itself. Like, it was a 3D platformer in 1995, which in itself is very impressive. But it's just the most bland gameplay imaginable, and it's just you follow the path around.
Yeah.
The challenge is that sometimes there's dead ends and you just have to go back on yourself, and that's about as much as you get out of it. And yeah, I've got a perfect rundown of that game. I have no life.
I haven't even beaten that game myself because it was difficult for me as a kid and is like you said, a pretty bland platformer.
It's very by the numbers, isn't it?
We got all the time stones now, so we're pretty good to go ahead and beat the game.
That's fun, we're all locked in.
I might have gone overboard with the amount of coins that I grinded from missions.
It's no biggie. And this does mean that it doesn't matter like whether you're in the past, present, or the future. You can just sort of play it by ear now, can't you?
Pretty much.
But like some of these alternate level aesthetics, since like I say I usually just get the time stones and don't worry about anything else, I am seeing a lot of these that I don't see usually, so that is kind of cool here. This version of Quartz Quadrant with the gold, like the gold trim around the level, that's really cool, isn't it?
It is. It just really stands out from the, I guess you'd call it the aqua domes that are in the background.
It's amazing how just switching the colour palette a little bit can leave such a different vibe to the level.
Okay, time to run fast.
This boss, the boss that you just sort of let him kill himself. Let's see how long your invincibility will last here. Not that you really need it, because it is just one jump over the thing as it drops, isn't it?
Pretty much. It's basically hold right to kill Eggman.
Gotta work that sucker to death. Come on now, work that sucker to death. See, that's a sample from a commercial song, so that's the sort of thing that might be kind of difficult to work with, come to think of it.
Yeah, because that was also in the zero-G data file sample set as well, so I'm guessing maybe they also paid George Clinton. That's the original artist.
I thought it was by a band called Xavier.
Maybe.
Let me look it up, because I remember a song by a band called Xavier that has that sort of thing.
Oh yes, Wacky Workbench, I love this.
Yeah, there's a Xavier song called Work That Sucker to Death, but they might be borrowing the same sample, come to think of it.
Yeah.
It's so funny when you start realising the same samples being used in multiple songs. Like, there's one that sticks out to me, is the Can't See You, Can't Hear You from one of the Sonic Freeriders levels. That's also in one of the overworld themes from Xenoblade. Is it Xenoblade X or Xenoblade Cross? Spy, you'll probably be able to correct me on that.
I'd call it Xenoblade Chronicles X.
See, the thing is, like, when Sonic X Shadow Generations was first announced, I did a reaction video where I referred to it as Sonic Cross Shadow Generations, because that's kind of, I was thinking like it's a crossover of Sonic and Shadow. That kind of checked out to me, but you know, like then people made fun of me for that. And I was like, okay, I guess it's X.
It was. I think it's definitely supposed to be Sonic Cross Shadow Generations, but if it was X Shadow Generations, then we're talking about something else on a whole nother level.
I mean, like, is that not one of your most frequently browsed tags on fanfiction.net, Snake?
No. I don't even read fanfiction.
I don't really know. Like the whole shipping thing with Sonic is one of the things that I never really kind of got into. That section you just went through, I remember in the original Mega CD version, you don't get them rings, even though it's an automated section. It just throws you over them, doesn't it?
Yeah, obvious level design flaw, but it's not like a deal breaker.
it's the sort of thing, like, there's a few sections like that in 06. Like, I remember there's one in Crisis City where, like, the speed pad makes you miss them, and I think there's one in Wave Ocean as well, and everyone talks about that, but we've been having these kinds of oversights for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
Wacky Workbench is such a vibe. Anyone who says they don't like this level just hates fun.
I mean, I think it's one of the best tracks in the game, personally.
I think the level's fun because, like, I said this in the run earlier, but, like, to me, part of what I appreciate about Sonic CD is, like, yes, a lot of the Sonic CD level design, it is very, how do I put it? It's, like, very confrontational toward the player, let's say. But the thing is, it all feels intentionally done. It feels like someone is sitting there designing these levels thinking, what can I do to fuck with the player now? It's like, it's deliberately trolling.
It kind of feels like some Sonic games have had that built into the level design. I think that was the case in Sonic 3 and Knuckles with this. Or it was one of the classic games where there was a spring at the end that just launched you all the way back. Like, who would think of putting that there? Why is that spring even there?
Well, I mean, it's like that one rock tool at the end of one of the Palm Tree Panic levels that I pointed out. It's like, well, there's absolutely no reason for this to be here other than to fuck with you.
Pretty much.
Big Show says, I recently found out that Crisis City and Metal Mario's theme use the same sample. I didn't know about that one. Like, I know.
Interesting.
Like, Crisis City's theme overall does sound a bit like Bowser's Road from Mario 64. Like, not necessarily lifting any parts of it, but just the general tone and the melody sounds a little bit similar, I guess. Does actually hitting him like that actually do anything, or is it just the final hit you need to get in?
I'm sorry?
Like, when you hit him just then, does that actually count, or is it just the final hit you need to get?
It's just the final hit that you need to kill him.
It's just sort of satisfying to make him get pissed and see his moustache pop up like that, isn't it?
Yeah, I think maybe the hits are necessary to make him go up. That's just what I've always done.
Yeah, down he goes. It's because the animation when you hit him, it doesn't like flash white at all, does it?
No. It doesn't really do that for quite a bit of the bosses in the game.
Axel says, this place is quite wacky, if you ask me. Well done, Axel. Yep, suckers work to death. Can't count 5. Peak.
Yes.
God, this is beautiful.
Only thing I miss is the searchlights syncing up to the beat of the music. But regardless, I'm still jamming out to the music.
It's a great piece of music. It's a beautiful level. Like this, it's basically just like taking what I like about Starlight Zone and just CD-ifying it. That's a term now. I'm sticking with that.
Yeah, I'd stick with that term because a lot of the art style in Sonic CD is definitely a work of art.
Yeah, I love how vast the city in the background is as well. Because, like, if you remember the assets that we had in the background from Sonic 1 in Starlight Zone, it was kind of a reserved, quieter city at night kind of thing going on. You know, there was a bit of industrialization, but it wasn't really the defining feature.
Yeah.
This is just like this could be like a big capital city, couldn't it?
Definitely a capital city. It's a great segue into Metallic Madness, final zone of the game.
Yeah, like, I'm not as big a fan of Metallic Madness, but, you know, like, as the setup here, it's beautiful.
Hit it. Hit it.
This is where all the toots in the Toot Toot Sonic Warrior come from.
Pretty much.
Sonic 1 always had an oddly haunting vibe with its background in stages like Spring Yard. I never really got that. Maybe from Starlight, because it seems so quiet despite being in a big city. But other than that, I don't know. Like, I think the thing with Sonic 1 is Sonic 1 feels more organic, whereas this game is more man-made, if we're going to put it like that.
Yeah, I think it, well, yeah, it's much more man-made. Like, the further you go into the game, the more technologically advanced it gets.
It's like, it's just across the board, like, different Sonic games have a different kind of approach they're going for. And I think, like, when it comes to the natural organic ones, like the classic games lean into that pretty well outside of CD. But then you get something like Rush, which feels entirely like man-made. Even, like, say, the forest levels and whatnot, it's like, this feels lived in. Sonic 1 feels kind of lonely. I sort of get that, and I think that's a good thing. I think that's a vibe that a lot of games now don't necessarily manage to capture. It's like, I feel like part of the thrill of an adventure can be accentuated by it just being you against the world.
Mm-hmm. That, I think, is a perfect way to describe Sonic 1, that it feels lonely. Well, Sonic pretty much is a loner in that game, or for the most part.
Yeah, because it is just him running through his island. Like, he hasn't met up with Tails yet.
Okay, I thought I wasn't going to race against Metal Sonic. Well, I guess I am.
I wonder, who are we going to see at the end? Now, this boss can be a bit fiddly. Let's see whether you get it down.
It's just a case of you need to let him go in front of you for some time and then catch up.
Yes, Axel, I don't think it's going to be your ex-wife who we're saving here. It's if you're like on an incline and he starts doing his chase thing, that's when it kind of becomes a bit of a bitch. Like, usually the safe route is to make the jumps across like the top, but easier said than done.
What?
Oh! God! You were like 2 or 3 frames away from winning that. That's bullshit.
It happened to Tanner last time I played this, and now it happened to me.
There you go.
Damn it!
Brad says, and Tails just cheeses this. Go rewatch Tanner's run of it from last time and say that then.
Yeah, go watch Tanner's run of it alongside me.
God bless. Like, I know Tanner doesn't have as much experience with CD, so that's why he had some struggles, but still.
I won't lie, that was definitely funny.
Does that speed up help in the race? Because it makes you hang about a bit while the cutscene plays out, doesn't it? Which probably wears it out.
It does not help at all.
So why is it even there? It's not like you've got a particularly far distance to run that going quicker would help. Let's go!
Round 2.
Oh yeah, since you're using the classic spin dash, you don't have the unfair advantage, do you?
I prefer playing CD how it was originally made.
Yeah, like, I feel like the thing they were going for with CD is they wanted to have this like risk versus reward thing, didn't they? Where like the spin dash was safer, but it was slower, whereas the peel out was faster, but you were still vulnerable, and that's kind of the dynamic they're going for. So when you just port the Sonic 2 spin dash over to it, it's like, I get that most people are going to prefer it, and like sometimes I do play it with that. Nicely done.
There we go.
But, you know, I do feel like it kind of goes against the spirit of what CD was going for. Alright, let's see. Go to the right, see if there's anything there. Oh!
No.
I was kind of hoping there'd be a second Amy or like a Sonic tied up or something.
Yeah, anyone who's not Sonic doesn't get anything.
That's a shame. Like, it would have been nice if they could tweak that. But yeah, Metallic Madness. Being honest, this particular version of it's not one of my favourite levels design-wise, but like the future one, like I think the good future one can be kind of pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Or the past, actually. I can't remember what the past one looks like.
Let's see. I'd say it looks sort of similar to the good future in a way.
Sparrows just sent me a screenshot of like the exact frame where you went through the gate of the last boss, and you are clearly
Oh
like
my
a
gosh.
whole body.
Fucking bullshit!
Like, you are clearly a whole body in front of Metal Sonic in this screenshot. You should have run that, but it pinged you back.
Yeah, probably something in the code that you need to have gone through the door. The door needs to have been shut before Metal Sonic crosses it.
Yeah, but that's the thing, like, the door is open and, like, Metal Sonic is, like, dead in the center, and you're, like, a whole body size in front of him. That's fucking rigged.
Yeah, but it's clearly rigged against me.
Do we know where that, like, the rap vocals from that song were lifted from? Was that another one from the same sample bank?
No, it's not. It's completely original.
Huh.
I think the lyrics might have been made up by the same lyricist and songwriter for You Can Do Anything. That's my
maybe.
guess. Like, I know they're difficult to make out, but I basically think it's like supposed to be Eggman rapping or something like that.
Because I think Two Lopes put together new lyrics for the Mania version.
Yeah, he did, and they're absolutely fantastic for both levels.
Cool.
The first one where Sonic's basically doing the rapping, and Eggman just does his response.
That's cool. Like, we need more Sonic character diss tracks.
I actually now want to see that. Let's have Sonic and Shadow face each other in a rap battle.
Like, this is an obscure bit of the series that a lot of people probably aren't aware of, but there was a Sonic musical, like Sonic, that took place in Australia, and there's a soundtrack album from that musical called, I think it's Sonic Live in Sydney, and there's songs there of like Eggman just singing about how much he hates Sonic and shit like that, and that's kind of funny.
That seems entirely on brand for him.
Yeah. Yeah, let me just let Axel know that we're in Metallic Madness.
Yeah. Wrap it. Oh. Those feet disappeared. Damn it.
Sorry, Foot Bros, it's over.
Those are the one enemy that I hate the most in Metallic Madness. Those gigantic bombs.
Yeah, because like they can get you from such a wide radius, can't they?
Yeah, and they don't even go away in the good future. They're still there, just to be an annoyance.
It's like years later, and this particular minefield is still dangerous.
Mini Amy also looks very cute.
Yeah, this is the first time I've seen this sprite. Actually,
Same
no,
here.
I did do a run of CD with Amy, but like I don't remember this sprite, but it does look cool. It's the good future, not the perfect future. Yeah, I guess so.
I don't know why they put another beam over here. Is it possible to miss it if you're Mini?
No, unless it's just like a red herring thing. That spike placement is bullshit. There's no way you could have prepared for that.
I think it's a fair placement.
Oh, it's because you can't see where it is, so it's not like you can angle yourself properly before you hit the spring. Yeah, they changed the falling spikes in Mania, and I kind of liked what they did there, because like you could see ahead of time where it was going to be, and that made it easier to kind of skip ahead. Yeah, so this is the aesthetic of Metallic Madness that I do really like.
I love it too, and it's like I'm not gonna get the invincibility. I want to keep hearing the music.
Yeah.
It's like this is like the perfect harmony between technology and nature.
It's got a sort of heavenly vibe to it, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're right at the tail end now. This section can go fuck itself.
Yeah, this is the one pain in the ass section in the game, and probably the only bottomless pit. But
I think it is the only bottomless pit. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's alright that they added in the sound effects from 3K for these lightning bugs weapons.
Yeah, it's just giving it a little bit more energy, because they were dead silent in the original, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's not the end of the world, though, but like, I do get why they would want to add something on the cleanup. Alright, here we go, final boss.
Hey.
Now, are you gonna just tank the first hit, or are you gonna do it the slow, patient way?
I'm probably gonna tank the first hit. Or not!
Oh! Oh my god! That is like pixel perfect! Fucking hell, well done. I have never seen that before!
And I did it again!
Fuck! Oh, he's gonna do the thing now. I was gonna say, if you could get a hat trick, that'd be amazing. Ah, never mind. Getting 2 in a row, that was fucking incredible.
Yeah, I pretty much mastered the exact point where you need to jump for that.
It must only be like 2 or 3 safe pixels there, because I've tried so many times to get that down clean.
Hey, and that's game.
Yeah, well done. That was a bloody good run, mate. Let's talk about it this time, because I do want to point out that this is a new upscale of the cutscene that was made for Origins. Like, because in the 360 PS3 era, remaster, remake, whatever you want to call it, that they did just like a crude pan scan, didn't they? Whereas this one, it's got the full frame image here. It looks really nice. It's preserved a lot of the original grain, which I'm glad about. That keeps a lot of the character there, because a lot of like remastered animation, they tend to change that, but no, they kept it as is.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Oh, dubious steps right there. That's where that animation's supposed to be from.
Oh, right.
Yeah, with the antlion and such. Kudos to Discotech for remastering this.
Oh, it's Discotech, that's the one.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. I kind of want the OVA to get this kind of treatment.
I do too.
Like the OVA with this art, like quality, this remaster quality would look gorgeous.
Yeah. That's stuck in copyright limbo, which is...
Like, someone must have it.
Yeah, because, like, Sega doesn't know where they have the rights, or whether it lies with, I guess, the Taki Corporation, or Studio Piero, whoever animated it.
Usually when things like this happen, it's the company who published that particular work will have licensed the rights to the characters from Sega. But if that original company has changed hands, that can confuse things. So that's probably why it's got a bit lost somewhere.
That sounds about right.
Because, like, the reason I know that, the reason I'm aware of that, is part of why I find the whole Ken Penders Archie situation so amusing is because Archie fucked up by not having Ken Penders do work for hire, or at least they weren't able to prove that they had him doing work for hire. So basically, what they'd done is they had paid Sega for the right for Ken Penders to officially publish what is essentially his fanfiction. So he was able to make money off his work purely courtesy of Archie Comics.
Wow. I miss the sound effects here. Too cool.
Well done. Like I said, that was a really good run of the game, mate. You did a good job there.
That was a satisfying, near-flawless run.
And this is the new animation, which is in a completely different style and is kind of jarring up against the CD stuff.
Yeah. Still nice.
Gonna just do one more refresh here on the donations. And it looks like it's gonna be a Amy Rose run of Sonic the Hedgehog 2. So you'll be able to join Axel for that very, very soon.
Sweet.
Alright. You ready to hand things over, Snake?
Yep. I've been Samurai Snake.
I've been the Flameclaw.
I'll catch y'all next time. Stay tuned for Sonic 2 with Axel.
Yeah, then you're going to be in the call for that one, aren't you, Snake?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Alright, guys, thank you for watching, thank you for donating, and we'll see you next time for another playthrough. Bye-bye for now.
Later.